Hello and welcome everyone. We're here at Florida Closing and Escrow, and we have a guest speaker today from Old Republic Title, who's going to be speaking on social media tools for real estate agents for 2 CE credits. At the end of watching this, kindly send me your name as it appears on your license and your license number to receive the credits. I can be reached at cindy@cindymiami.com or 786-457-6832. Thank you for joining us today, those here in person and those live. And now I'm going to introduce Tana, who is going to be the guest speaker for today. Welcome, Tana.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go ahead and turn the PowerPoint around so you guys can actually see a little bit of it. Everybody online can kind of see it, but you guys won't be able to. So, good afternoon. My name is Montana Thigpen. I am the Certified Director of Education with Old Republic Title. So my job is basically to come up with real estate classes for all of agents pertaining to social media. A little bit about me. I am a licensed real estate agent. I have been for 12 years. I'm a commercial agent. I ran a real estate school in Texas, and that's how Old Republic picked me up. I'm new to Florida. Best decision I ever made. Freaking love it here. I'm like driving down the street. I'm like, this is great. I love it here. So this class is going to be a little bit about some of the things that have happened in social media over the course of the last year. It's going to be about some of the changes that have happened on some of the social platforms. It's going to be some of the things we're probably doing incorrectly, things that we could probably improve on, things we should be posting. One thing I enjoy about education is collectively everyone kind of talking, right? I'll ask you questions because I think the best learning opportunity is seasoned agents and new agents, because the beauty is some seasons know more than the newer ones, vice versa, right? On all of it pertains to social media as we go. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go over understanding how the market has changed, right? Has it changed? Right? Can we think about what happened in pre-COVID? Right? They were just lining up to give me their listing, and now I have to work for it. How learning some of these tools can be vital to the success. 6 tips to using social media effectively, and then learning ways to improve your digital marketing. And then we're going to go over some things we should be posting on social media. So why do we as real estate agents need to be online so heavily in our business?
Well, that's our best way to promote in this day and time. It's
right?
like a commercial on TV, but now it's online.
That's a great answer. It's a commercial on TV, right? Everybody's eyes are on social media, right? But why are we the number one business that has to tell people we're consistently working? Did you notice that? Like, I don't see a dentist saying, hey, I just cleaned your guys' teeth. Who's next? Right? I did an open heart surgery. Who's next for the surgery? But we as agents consistently have to tell the consumers we're working, we're busy, we're doing something, right? To garner some kind of reaction in life, right? But when I think about it, right, real estate in the industry to market ourselves, right? There's a million different ways we can market ourselves. I'm one of the educators too. When I think about it, we don't all have to be online. And if you're not, it's okay, right? There's one thing that I want to applaud people. There are other avenues that we can do online or offline that doesn't require us to post our business and our personal lives and everything online. So I'm a component to whatever you think is going to work effectively in your business. So because the consumer and because people are so heavily online all the time, we have to understand that it's okay. Let them know you're going to sell their contract. So managing your business is actually managing your brand. So who here has a brand? And what is your brand? Love your glasses, sir.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I think I should, hopefully that's your brand. I'm hoping.
Well, no, our brand is luxury real estate and full service, beginning to end, and listings only.
Listing only, okay, great.
No buyers, just listings.
Okay, you're going to do great in this new NAR contract, aren't you? So who else? Who else has a brand? And have you ever thought about what your brand is? You guys are independent business owners, so you have to have a brand. So like, what is it? What's your brand?
I don't really have one. It's kind of like a little bit of everything.
Really? So if I were to look you up, what am I going to find online that is very unique to who you are?
I keep my profile with a little bit of personal, like a family oriented, showing sometimes my family or some gatherings to get a little bit more personal touch, like not just all created videos that just posting pictures and videos you can download anywhere.
Mhm.
It's a little bit more personal. So like people that follow me can see like, hey, I'm an actual person. I have a family, but I work, and then I do postings, videos of properties that I show, properties that I sold or listed. So it's kind of like a little bit
of both. Yeah.
We actually tell everybody to Google us continuously. If you don't Google us, you're not doing good due diligence. So if you Google Mark Angel Realty, you'll see we just sell properties. We don't do anything else except for sell properties, and you'll see hundreds that we sold. So that's our brand. So we actually tell people to Google.
Yeah, I mean, your brand is you. You are uniquely your brand, right? Whatever your logo is, whatever your tagline is, that is your brand, right? Yes, you hang your license at a brokerage office, right? And we have to do our part to, it all depends on every brokerage is a little different. We have to make sure their logo is present. We have to make sure that we let people know that we are represented by that brokerage office. But your brand is really who you are, right? What your personality is, what are your morals, what are your ethics, what are your hobbies, what are your interests, what are your dislikes, right? Because I hate to break it to you, people are not choosing you or following you because you're an agent. There's 225,000 agents in Florida, right? If that was the case, my gosh, we'd all have 5,000 and 10,000 followers online. That's just not the case, right? They follow us because we have things in like-minded, right? Things that are unique about us that they enjoy, right? Like your kids, right? Your personal life. So how many of you have posted something about business lately? What did you post?
So I actually manage my mom's social media.
Oh, I love it. Mama, way to go.
I'm an agent too, but
Okay.
Her brand is basically Selena's from Miami, and
Okay.
what I do is that she's very much like, I want to post personal stuff. I'm like, okay.
Good job.
But we limit that to her stories, and then we add, some of the stories, if it's a little personal, to just the highlights, and
Making a
just,
reel out of it?
like, over that. Exactly. And then we do interviews with mortgage brokers or title companies, and we make that into a reel and just add both of the the information for both, because it's
Okay.
a collaboration.
Yeah.
And we tag title company so that it automatically posts to their Instagram as well. That way you get double the views.
Good job.
So that's what we do. So yeah. So now what she does is she does reels, like informative reels herself, and and I'll edit it, make a couple for it, so that way. And then you have to also, it helps to use the Meta Business Suite, because it tells you when your
That's your analytics.
followers and
Yeah.
everything are most active. So
You need to have a business account so that you can.
45 minutes before, so that way.
Do you want to teach the class? Are you ready? Come on. Come on. You know enough here.
No,
Good job.
I graduated in marketing. So.
Good. So did I. I have a master's degree in marketing. So you are spot on. I'm going to hopefully teach you some new stuff.
Exactly.
But so when it comes to us as agents posting, we have to understand that 90 or 85% needs to be personal. I know that's hard to swallow, because they're not following you because you're selling a house. They're not following you because you had an open house, right? Unless your brand is built on just showcasing the agents or showcasing, it's so challenging, right? Like if you looked at your business post, you'll realize you'll probably have less than, all depending on how many followers you have. I want to say you'll probably have 10 or 15 likes. And out of that, maybe 4 or 5 will comment. And those people that are going to comment are agents that you work with, your brokerage, your Aunt Sally in Utah, and your parents back in California, right? But that's missing the mark, right? That's not the consumer base that we want. So when you post something personal, it's amazing. That's 50% higher on every level, because people want to get to know who you are as a person. Your personality is going to determine how they can work best with you, right? So it's challenging, because I think we're all told, post your business. I did the same thing when I started 12 years ago. I was heavily posting my business. I was wondering why it was taking forever to get people to follow my business page or follow me in general. I wasn't sharing anything about myself. I was saying I was selling and I worked in commercial, but for the longest time, it was really, really challenging to get people to follow me left and right. How many of you have done ads on any type of social platform? What have you used?
All of the social platforms. We have about 6,000 followers.
Okay.
And we do Google ads, we do Facebook, LinkedIn, we've done all of it.
Done all of them. What one have you had the highest success?
We really haven't had any success from all of them, to be quite honest.
How long have you done it in concession?
Probably about 9 years.
Meaning every single month you're doing?
Yeah, we've done it on and off. I've found social media to be the least performing return on investment. Believe it or not, over all the years I've been doing it, I sell about 40 homes a year as a listing broker, as a listing agent. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, the algorithms change so often.
They do.
I personally haven't found it to be a good return on investment dollar-wise, although it's been a good ego boost and great for my ego. To have so many people like stuff and see stuff and continuously want to see those new properties coming on the market, and especially for sellers, they want to see that. So for me, it's really a seller's asset for them to see that I'm performing in some manner.
Correct.
But I haven't had a great return on investment, I have to be honest.
So when you're building social media ads, right? We have to understand.
I'd love to know how to do it.
Yes.
That's why I'm here.
I
get a good return on investment.
I teach ads on every single social platform, separate to what this class is. So we'll have to get together and I'll kind of explain to you what that is. But when it comes to creating ads or boosting an ad, right, you have to understand you have to spend 6 months consistently. At 6 months is when you realize if there's not a lead that's come from that 6 months, there's something wrong with that ad. Whether we're focusing on the wrong target, our title is not right, our images aren't right? And then we have to start tweaking. So I usually say we start tweaking. If we haven't gotten something in 3 months, we start making those changes now before 6 months come. Because in 6 months, you should have a lead. You should absolutely, or what has happened is every single buddy who has clicked on any of their advertisements, regardless of the platform, that we have a funnel and where we are putting them. So when I say funnel, it means we have to put them into a CRM. Does everybody have a CRM? Does everybody know what a CRM is, right? That is your gold mine, to be honest. This is where you should be cultivating business left and right? Past clients, soon to be future clients, people that have been interested in things that you have shared, right? So we have to have categories in that CRM on how we consistently touch those people. Do you know how many touches it takes to actually close a deal in real estate right now?
To close it?
To close it.
Could we say 100 or so?
Oh, I would hope not. Oh, God.
Not that many?
No, not that many. So it used to take six touches, what it used to take pro-COVID. Now it takes 12. And when I say touches, it means we have sent them an email, then we have text messaged them, and then we had phone called them, and then we had one individual person. So that takes 12 opportunities for them to decide to possibly use you for a buy or sell transaction. Now, building that CRM is challenging, but if you have that in place and we are touching them exactly when we need to touch them, they should absolutely be reaching out to you because you're so consistent in that conversation with them that they're like, why wouldn't I want to choose this agent to represent me? This is amazing, right? The follow-up is, the communication is probably 99% of our business, right? On how we talk to consumers, how we engage with consumers, how we get consumers, right, interested in what we're doing. So when it comes to social media, how do you choose?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
CRM. Do you recommend any CRM for real estate?
100%.
Because I've been doing a lot of research about it. And
There are so many different platforms, but when it comes to cost and effectiveness, I would do MailChimp or Constant Contact. So both of them are under $25 to start out with about 1,000 contacts. Right, it takes an agent a lot to get 1,000 contacts, 1,000 sales, right? Just one person. And then it allows you to text message. It allows you to build your campaign in there. It allows you to put notes in there. And it's super easy to learn. That's, I think, the beauty of it. It's not super complex.
Because I have cubic work, but it's very complex.
It's complex. It's
to
super
learn.
challenging.
Studying and learning, I mean, it's good, but it's a big monster.
It is. And you need multiple classes to teach you all the categories. Constant Contact and MailChimp, literally it's like build your campaign, click. Okay, here's your power. I mean, here's your template. Okay, apply stuff in there, right? Okay, decide what category you want of people to get it. Click, 5 minutes, and you're done.
Do you have any preference to any new AI software that is out or coming out that's best for CRM? Because I've just been researching that myself for a better return on investment.
Man, AI is a whole different beast. And we as real estate agents, right? And I'm seeing it. And I don't know if you guys are as heavily inundated with AI as I am, but I can go into MLS and I can tell exactly what agent has used AI to create their listings now. It's so bad. Is that agents are using it as a eraser of their own imagination and of their own creativity and utilizing a software tool that's basically going to wipe them off the planet
Yeah, I
if
was
they don't
thinking
stop.
more of the CRM part of it, where you're reaching out to
Well,
past, present, and future clients.
They have several. I'm just not
So
sure
I'm trying
yet.
to find one myself right now that will work best.
Yeah, I'm just not sure yet. Reason being is that the AI software that they're doing goes into your computer and scrubs it. It's supposed to come up with the best data on comparison to all of your social platforms. That's a little scary to me. I don't know if I want to give access to the biggest brain in the world right now, all of my stuff. We don't know what it's taking. I don't know where it's taking, how it's compartmentalizing it. Is it going to have some great advantages? Heck yeah, it is. But I don't know if I'm there yet. So, I mean, I've met my first brokerage in Orlando that is all AI from start to
Wow.
finish. Phone calls, customer service, processing, paperwork, visual. You think you're talking to an agent, it's AI generated. Scary, at least in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I still really believe that the human element of real estate is what
Very
makes it so
important.
beautiful. And it's so important that we keep
That's
that
true.
intact.
The connection with
Yes.
people to people is the most important.
And show consumers why they need us, This NAR thing is going to unfortunately affect so many people. It really is. FHA buyers, first-time home buyers, right? It's going to affect a lot. And then how are you going to present this to new clients?
I think you offer personalized 5-star services, and we could talk further about that.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope, but if you're following any of these feeds, right, you'll notice that the consumer's like, why do we need an agent? Why do
Actually,
I?
I just got a contract yesterday where in the contract it had a buyer's broker's fee outlined in paragraph 20, page 12,
Okay,
where it said that the seller had to sign off on this particular listing, that they were going to, under any circumstances, pay the buyer's broker fee. It was the first one I got yesterday.
They were
actually.
not?
That they would.
Oh.
That they
Wow.
would pay a buyer's broker's fee.
see, again, I would
They
love to.
reduced the fee, ironically, in the contract, because I had 3 contracts on one property.
Okay,
So they reduced the fee on paragraph 20, page 12, to 2% to make sure they were the winning contract with the
Okay.
buyer's broker's fee. But that was the very first one I've had.
You've seen so
that
far.
I've done that.
Okay, and even though it doesn't even go into effect until July. So,
Yeah, and I got it yesterday. And,
Wow.
we went to contract this morning and executed it, but I got three offers. And this one actually had it. I was actually shocked to see it in paragraph 20.
yeah.
Question, was
So
it
they-
a selling point for your
Additional
seller
points.
that reduced it?
No, actually, it was the buyer, because I only represent sellers only.
Right.
So it was the buyer, knowing that there were 2 other contracts, wrote that into the contract
To
As
get the
a-
better
as
chance
a
of
benefit
getting.
to the seller.
Yeah.
But they actually put it in the, and it was very well worded
It's gonna be-
as a concession to the seller.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be
Because they were
interesting.
aware of the new law, obviously, and they wanted to show the seller that they were open to reducing their buyer's broker's fee.
Yeah, I mean, you are definitely going to see some agents are going to say, okay, I'll do it for $1,000.
Yeah,
I'll
it was
do
on
it,
a
I'll do it for
million too.
15. I'll do it for right and the nominal fee, whatever it is. And then you're going to have consumers that are directly going to go to lawyers to do the entire
Yeah.
contract, right?
Yeah.
You're
Very,
gonna
very
have-
interesting.
You're going to have, it's going to change. I predict, to be honest, that we have 225,000 agents in Florida. I have a feeling we'll lose 25% of those when
Is it
this all happens.
27%?
25? I thought it was gonna be more.
It might be. I'm just being conservative,
Yeah.
So-
but I think it's going to push a lot of people out who don't understand how
Yeah.
to negotiate their value.
From a business point of view, I actually personally think it's a good thing. I remember 2006, 7, and 8, I thought it was a great culling of the herd, so to speak,
Mhm.
of those unprofessional realtors to have to leave the market.
Yeah, and it
So
will.
for us personally, as high volume sellers, I like the fact that I'm only going to be dealing with professional
Right.
buyers agents.
The cream will rise to the
Yeah.
top.
You're
Yeah, I think
absolutely
so.
right.
Yeah,
You're
you're
absolutely
right.
right. So it's definitely going to be. We digressed. I'm sorry, but I love. This
Yeah.
is why I love teaching, is because we all get to collectively give opinions
Yeah.
of what we think are going to happen in the
I
market.
actually see
right?
a lot more contracts coming my way with those concessions in the contract where they might even come below 2%.
Oh, they will.
Uh,
They will. Yeah, just so they can win the deal, right?
Just
we'll
so they
see.
can win the deal,
Yep.
yeah. Because it's
Of
all
course.
about money to the seller.
Of course.
Because I don't represent buyers, I don't really get to see that part of the market.
Yeah.
And I haven't for the last probably 4.5 years. But I think from the seller's point of view, it's going to be very, very interesting to review those contracts if they're well priced and they get more than one contract.
Yeah, but then there's the hardest part, right? We have a fiduciary duty as an agent, regardless if that commission is 3%, 1%, 1.5%, to show people houses that are on the MLS. And I believe if we fall short on that, that's going to be another lawsuit. There's going to be somebody that picks it out and said, "Hey, this house has been on the market for 298 days, and I listed it last year, and I had 336 showings, and now I only have 4. Why is that?"
Someone's gonna bring that lawsuit up anyway.
Or the agents should.
It's happened in rentals actually already.
Yes,
Where we've
yes.
seen 4 years ago, it was 50% of 1 month's rent, and now it's $200 to
Yeah.
represent a tenant. So really, nobody represents tenants, they just refer them to the listing broker for their $200 check. So,
That's
and
right.
that happened really quickly, and I was very shocked that it happened so quickly. Not so much on the beachfront, but
Yeah.
when you go inland
Go
and the rest of Florida, definitely $200 referral fee. No longer 50% commission on a rental.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gosh. And for me, honestly, when I started in residential, that's how I made my business. Is I took all of the rental business because it was 50%.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah,
a paycheck for
yeah.
me for a
It's
couple
very,
of months.
It's very simple, especially when they
Super
renewed
simple.
every year.
Yeah, and
You
I
gotta
built
re-up
a huge pipeline, and over the course of 3 years, I sold them all a house. So
Yeah.
now it doesn't benefit
Business
you.
changed.
Yeah, you know how much work you do for $200 for a rental? You do a lot of work. Sometimes
Yeah,
I felt like
I've never had anybody show one of my rentals, only refer me.
That's,
the new
they don't
tenant.
want it because it's not enough
And take
money.
the $200
Yeah.
check, because it's
Yeah.
just so much easier.
I completely understand. So that's a great
It's
one.
an interesting new dynamic we're in.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so back to choosing our social media platforms. How do we choose them? How do you individually choose your social platforms?
My kids personally, because I'm too old to really
That's a good one, right? What are your kids on, right?
pretty much.
But how do you know you're on the right platform? Speak up, my little marketing princess.
No, just the logistics you have to, when you have a business account, you can see what's moving the most.
But the hardest account to ever grow is going to be your business account. Hardest.
Yeah,
Selling consumers.
like you said.
We can get the analytics from it, but to actually migrate people to that platform,
That's true.
super hard.
But it also has to do with the content you post. If it's relatable, it's gonna work.
Content
You know?
is
It's like, for example, you can put like a post on Instagram that says, this is the best time to sell. Okay. It's not gonna get as much like attention as if I put my mom's face on it. And
There
she
you
starts talking
go.
to the camera and
That's
says,
true.
this is why.
I love
And
it.
if you look, you can see in Instagram where there's only posting. She has a good mix of it. There's a post and then there's a reel. The reels always get more attention.
They do, don't they?
Video
And
video
if you put
content is number
you know,
one for all people to be
trending,
sold to, no matter what.
a trending sound on it, you put it on silent, also brings a lot more people. Because people are
100%.
looking for that sound. Hashtags don't really work.
Hashtags don't work anymore. They're just a dying breed. Mm-hmm.
So, but it has to do with the sound and everything.
Do you know how to work X? Whatever the X thing is.
Twitter?
I'm not a fan of it. That's
So
why
there's-
I don't use
So
it.
you know the new platform, right?
I
It's
don't
called
even know how to sign
Threads.
into that.
Yeah.
So Threads is by Reels, by Instagram. So it is the version of X, which is Twitter. There's another platform. It's called Lemonade. Lemon numeral 8. And that is
Lemon,
LEMON 8, and it's put on by TikTok.
Number 8 or
Number 8.
Lemon 8?
Lemonade, and it's going to be a smash up. It just got on the playing field about 3 months ago. So it is a smash up between Canva and Pinterest. It's like a vision board. It's pretty awesome. I actually love it. I think I'm a true believer that when new things start, you got to jump on a bandwagon even if you don't know what you're doing yet, because if it takes off and you don't start until 2 years later, you have missed the boat. You've missed the traction. You have missed the appeal because people have already joined and started, right? And creating. I know it's another platform. So you have to you got to do your good and your bad and your indifferent, right? When it comes to it. But when we're choosing a platform, right? Who are your generalized consumers? Who are you working with? Buyers. It's okay. But are they millennial buyers? Are they baby boomers? Are they Gen Xers? Are they millennials? Okay. So the average millennial, do you know how many houses the average millennial will buy in their lifetime?
Probably 0.
3,
2, 1.
Three.
7 to 10.
7 to 10?
7 to
What's
10.
the millennial age? Because I always get confused. about
Millennial cutoff
the
age
age
is 37 years old.
37-year-olds are going to have 10 homes at that
10,
age?
you know why? Because they still lived at mama's house until they were 31.
Oh, okay.
Their actual way to start into life, and I don't blame them. The economy is crappy. If I could live in my mama, I would. Gosh,
Me
mommy,
too.
can I
Yes,
can I
please.
can I get free rent?
Hotel.
Yeah.
Mommy's gonna tell.
So they just started their careers. They're going to have several divorces, several kids, and millennials don't care about equity. They care about lifestyle. So they have a tendency to only stay in a job for 2 years. They're teaching me something. I have a millennial brother. He works for Microsoft. He makes $200,000 a year at 31 years old. Stupid kid. I'm going to punch him in the face. You know how long it took me just to be at $100,000? And he's going to stay there, get all of the knowledge he can, and move on to the next tech company. And he'll make $250,000. And he'll do that until he taps out on his career at $550,000 at 40. This is what our millennials are doing. So unlike my parents' generation and my generation, what did we do when it comes to careers? We stayed because we loved our employer and they loved us and we had all this. No, they don't. They don't care about you. They will drop you like a bad habit now. We don't have job security anymore. And that's the sad part, but we don't. That's why a lot of people are 1099 and contract workers. So they can pick and choose what they want to do, right? That's why you're finding a lot of people that are so excited about having remote work instead of in office work. Can't tell you how many of my friends have 2 jobs as a remote worker because they can remote 2 places and collect 2 incomes, right? So when you think of, this is another, Forbes just came out with this. What's the highest male or female buyers right now? Female buyers. Female buyers outperform men by 25% right now in this market, not because of divorce or alimony. Do you understand us as women? We just got the right to own a home in 1950, have a bank account, 1950. So women are taking the opportunity to have real estate by storm. It is pretty phenomenal.
It's interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah, I read a lot about different trends, especially in real estate, because it is, if you are going to think about how you pivot yourself in this market, right, you need to be where the buyers are. You need to be where, right, or the listing people that are doing these things quite frequently to build your book of business, whatever that trend looks like, right? It's tough because it changes consistently.
We
but
actually used that 4 years ago to actually cut off a certain demographic of our market and not actually advertise to them. Whenever we get leads, we actually don't put any effort or energy into under 50-year-olds, period. Because we're a listing agency only, we only put energy and money into mail outs and communication to over 50.
over 50.
Because we're finding that that below period for listings only are not buying and not listing at the kind of rate that we used to see. 3 years, most 50-year-olds.
3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years,
Yep.
They buy a home and then they sell a home. So that's our demographic is, or into retirement where they're going into a home and then.
And it might be different
Yeah.
here in these counties versus in Tampa, because that's not the case in Tampa,
But
right?
we only do coastal areas.
Coastal areas.
so-
That's the big difference.
Yeah.
That's a really big difference. So how many of you are on TikTok?
I tried to log on once.
Log on. Oh, sir, I'm going to give you a gold star for that
I
one.
couldn't figure it out.
Figure- My marketing princess. Are you on TikTok?
No, for her, no. I have a video.
Ooh, we gotta do.
She has to stand there and make the videos. I tell her.
Okay,
this.
we gotta make the jump.
She
so-
she's too shy on camera.
Oh.
Just to get her to start reels, it was
Hard, right?
hard.
It's a generational thing.
Yes, why? One generation.
Well, the
doesn't have to
average-
show up, the other generation
the
wants to be
average real estate agent is 57 years old in Florida.
Is that right?
57.
That's
So for most of us, we got little clips of technology versus my brother got to put together a computer at 7 years old and build it back up. And he was like, played all these crazy games and super techie kid, super techie. Like when I tell him, like, I don't know how to do this, he's like, oh, you're such an idiot. I'm like, just show me. Like, it's not, I had to teach you how to eat cereal, brother. Hello, right? So TikTok has grown the most multimillionaires than any other platform.
No way.
Yes. So when you go on to TikTok, it is not surprising you see pages that have 600 million followers. You will never get that type of viewership on any other platform unless you started YouTube in 2003. Because that's when it was just starting. Now it's like absolutely saturated. But these younger kids, Gen Xers and millennials that hopped on this bandwagon, man, it's impressive. And I'm talking about products and services, not just products, right? So if I were to give you an option, right, I would highly suggest you guys consider to make more videos. Videos is the way of the future. It's the hardest thing, I know. It's challenging. It's because we have to put ourselves out there and we feel awkward. But the hardest part to understand is that no one cares enough to find your flaws the way that you do. No one sees your imperfection the way you do, right? Most people will go, oh my God, you look so beautiful. And you're like, oh, I look like a stuffed pig in that photo. I hate that. My hair was so ugly, right? You're going to find all the things wrong. They're going to find all the things right. And they're going to clue in to those videos, right? So YouTube, TikTok, who's on LinkedIn? Not all of you? All of you? No LinkedIn? Why not?
No social media.
Really? Wow, I like it. I started my business with zero social media. So
It takes up too much at home.
energy, time, efforts, I get it. Well, this is the way I see it too. If you're spending more than 60% of your time on social media, you should be getting 5 leads a month. If you're not, we're wasting our time. Because I think social media is a branding opportunity for us to kind of put ourselves out there so visually people can see us, but we need to pound pavement still. We need to pick up phones still. We need to do in-person opportunities. We need to meet consumers in the wild, like I like to say, right? I was the dumb agent. I wore a stupid name tag and I wore t-shirts from Etsy, all kinds of weird things, right? I was a walking billboard. I got more leads meeting people in supermarkets, farmers markets, my church than I ever did on social media. So I don't say what you're doing is wrong, actually, right? We all have to find what that passage looks like for us. There's no right or wrong reason. It's just if you are going to focus some of your time, pick 1 or 2. That's it.
My understanding is you're supposed to have a presence.
Yes.
On social media.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a presence wherever you want it. I can put a billboard right out here and I'll have my presence hit by 1 million cars every single day.
It's true.
The visual understanding, you can do it by actually being present, right? Showing up to events all the time. One of the things I'll suggest to you that helped me in my business was I stopped going to real estate-based events. Why do I want to compete with 500 agents in a room? I would go on to different networking groups and find hobbies that I really enjoyed, and I would show up to those once or twice a month, make friends with those people, and believe it or not, I started selling houses. Because again, they got to know me, right? So I was the only real estate agent in the room. That's the difference, right? It's tough. It's tough to put yourself out there, but find out what those hobbies are. What do you enjoy, right? I was really into working out, so I did some fitness stuff. I did all kinds of different, because I was a commercial agent at the end. So I started going to all of the city functions, right, where they were doing city planning, city building, right, to meet all the inspectors and meet people like that, right? It's the, what is they say? It's like the network, right, is your network. So your bigger your network is, the bigger your net worth is. So we got to think about that. And sometimes it's not all just has to be online. I promise you. So we kind of talked about it a little bit, right? I don't think there is a right or wrong social media platform to be on. I think video is the number one thing you have to do. But I think it is where you find comfort, where it is easiest for you, where you enjoy it. Because if you enjoy it, it's probably easier for you to do. If it's challenging and hard and right, then take some classes to learn it if you want to. But if it is something that you just dread doing, why are you going to do it? I'm not somebody that says you should be on that platform because everyone else is. No, find something else that you enjoy, right? But you don't have to be on all of them either. I meet agents and I say, okay, there's 8 platforms right now. Are any of you on all 8? Facebook? Raise your hands. Facebook? Okay. LinkedIn? Okay. TikTok? Okay. Few. Snapchat?
I have it, but.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would
do.
spend any energy or effort on Snapchat, but each his own, right? Snapchat. There is YouTube.
Oh, yeah, lots.
Okay, YouTube, awesome. And then there is Lemonade, Threads, X. That's 8.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, right?
It's too many.
It's too many. And then having to learn how to do it effectively. That's the key, right? On how we do it where people are paying attention. So we talked about this a little second ago. What is the fastest growing social media platform? TikTok. Why do you think that is?
Because of the young
Because of the videos, short videos, 100%. But what does that say about our consumers?
They have short attention spans.
100%.
That's what I was thinking.
Do you know how many seconds we have to capture someone's attention online?
5 seconds. 5 seconds.
3 seconds. That is so sad, right? If you have children, I mean, I'm thinking that's even worse. Even as adults, right? As adults, 3 seconds is too much. If we can't collectively get their attention in our stories, we'll never get them to come to our hard post.
3 seconds.
3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. That's it.
Time's up.
3 seconds is all we have. So it is. It shows me one. I don't know if social media is making us collectively as a whole stupider.
Yeah.
I would say yes.
Right?
I would
Because
say
I mean,
yes.
again, I'm 45, and when I couldn't figure something out, how do you think I figured it out? I didn't have the internet. I didn't have any of those things, right? I would go to the Webster's Dictionary and look it up. I would go to the library and find it, right? I would talk to our neighbors that were 50, 60, 70 years old because they were a book of wisdom. And now you had a kid and he goes, Siri, what's 7 times 7? Answer. Right? In his palm of his hands. He doesn't have to think. She doesn't have to think, right? And now we have AI. Oh, God. Now they don't have to do anything. Can you write me a book about marriage and divorce and 2024 and what percentage, right? I can just tell it and it can write me a 30-page book in seconds, right? So you're right. TikTok is number 1. TikTok has grown substantially since its fruition when it first started. And it's the reason why is because they have something called shorts. So we'll go over kind of what shorts are and why it is. It's all based on attention span, right? And it's all pertaining to the real opportunity for them to, at least they think, gain knowledge at a very short period of time. So any of you women, right, when I used to Google before some of these other platforms came out, a recipe for marinara with meatballs, what would show up? No. Before all this video stuff? No.
The recipe.
Yeah, but it wasn't ever the recipe, right? It was this long, drawn out, story of her giving me a blog and then the recipe.
You just didn't see it.
The recipe was at the very bottom. Now I can type into TikTok recipe for marinara sauce with 4 meatballs. Boom. I'll find 1,000 videos.
You learn how to cook.
You learn how to
I
cook?
do.
Yes. Okay. I love it. All right. So it's the convenience of all of these things, right, that we have at our fingertips.
It's also important to understand that a lot of people have become visual learners. 100%. So if you don't visual, it's like you by like seeing them, hearing them, you understand better than just reading because you're lazy.
So I have to do hands-on. When someone's teaching me something, a computer software, something, I don't know, anything, I have to physically do it myself, right? Walk through the steps, and then I can watch a video on how to do it. I think that's the old way of thinking. I think most people, like you said, are visual learners. My brother can watch a video on how to, I don't know, do something with the algorithm, and he'll be like coding it in 4 seconds. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening in our world? So here's some social media facts. 88% of companies are on social media. Video has become the #1 form of video marketing. The average people spend 1.5 hours on social media. 75% of Instagram users check their accounts 3 to 5 times a day. YouTube every day, over 100 million hours of video is watched. What happened to the TV?
Nobody has it anymore.
What do they have now?
You watch.
Hulu, Amazon, right? They have all subscriptions that they can fast forward through the commercials. No one wants to watch commercials anymore.
You'll even pay extra.
You'll pay extra to not even be interrupted with commercials anymore, right? So, do we know what the top 3 search engines are? And if you don't know what a search engine is where we find information on
Google.
internet. So you think Google's #1?
Oh, Siri. Is Siri a search engine?
No, she should be, but she's not. She uses Google.
She
Yeah.
uses Google.
So Google, what else?
Netflix, the streamings.
Oh, streaming. Oh, I've never heard that answer, but that's not right, but close. What else? TikTok and YouTube. And actually, Google is number
She said
3.
Alexa.
Yeah, she did too.
Oh, YouTube?
So YouTube is a search engine. TikTok, search engine. Google, number 3. Why? Because it's video content, and people rather watch a 10-second video on how to do something, how to find something, how to figure something out, than they will to type into Google and read an actual article.
I subscribed to Alexa for a while as an advertising platform, and I didn't find it personally successful, unfortunately.
Because the thing is that the reason people use Alexa is, Alexa, turn off the lights. So if I'm hearing real estate sales in Mount Florida, you're tuning out, right? You're just not even paying attention. And it's not visual. So I think that's a big one. Yes, ma'am.
It's because also the voice is annoying sometimes.
The voice is annoying. Yes.
I think the voice is very important, especially
Yeah,
with videos
yeah.
and
And I'm surprised
We
that
threw it out, actually. We got rid of Alexa. And actually, I turned Siri off on my phone too.
yeah,
Because that's
Siri is off on my phone
I
too.
do it now.
Yeah, it is annoying.
and for the videos, how long they have to be, because I believe in videos. I don't have social media at all. I just only work with referrals out of the country. That's my niche.
Okay.
But videos for me are very important, and I'm going into the videos right now. How long has to be to retain the attention from someone? Because
Okay, so every
I'm the person that watches long
Sure.
videos when it's a big thing that is really
when it's
I like
educational, it's a story, it's something
Yeah.
you can invest yourself into. So every platform is different. So right now, currently on YouTube, the length that is the sweet spot is under 4 minutes.
under 4 minutes.
Under 4 on YouTube. When it comes to TikTok right now, we have something called shorts. It's 10 to 15 seconds.
10 to 15 seconds.
Seconds.
Lord,
A minute is almost too long.
takes me that long to say hello.
There you go. On Instagram, on Reels, it's about 30 to 60 seconds so far. Yeah. So every single platform is going to be different because they have a different audience. So that's why we have to be,
And the audience is by age or not?
audiences by generation.
By
So
generation.
do you guys know the new generation, 0 to 12? Does anybody have elementary school kids? Anybody?
These-
No.
No. So the new generation is called Alpha, 0 to 12.
Oh my god.
But they're not consumers.
Not yet.
Yeah.
They're consumers of social media. They're consumers of everything online, right?
Yeah, I mean, now you get these new credit cards that you can give your kids
Yeah.
with their photograph on from any age.
My brother and sister had them growing up, and my brother and sister had an 800 credit score when they got out of high school,
It's that cool.
so they can buy a house, and they still have immensely amazing credit. It's kind of cool. So, all right. So, what is high quality content when we are posting? We're talking about this a little bit. So, what does high quality content mean?
Something of value
Okay, but is it value of you, or you think value to your consumer?
to the consumer.
Okay, but how do we know what the consumer wants?
They want flash and big words and
They want information to help them either purchase or sell their properties.
We think that, but we don't know that, right? We're not buying or selling. How many of you purchased a house or sold a house based on stuff you watched online from another real estate agent? It's a great question, huh?
I am.
You're still young.
Huh?
Still
I'm
millennial.
23.
You're not even a millennial. You're a Gen Zer. You're not even the category. So that's the hardest thing we have to realize is to put ourselves into the consumer mindset. We are thinking this is what the consumer wants, but what gives you the understanding that they are enjoying it? The
We
what?
get a lot of emails from people that see our videos.
Okay. Yeah. When you were getting comments, when you were getting shares, when you were
We don't
getting
get comments, shares, or likes, but we get people watching it all the time. Our analytics tell us a lot of people watch our stuff, but we don't get likes, we don't get like the sign-ups.
But actually that's good because the reason why is that a big percentage of people online are voyeurs. All I want to do is watch,
But we do get
and they
emails.
consume until they're ready.
And then we do get email questions. They don't often turn into productive leads, but it's good word of mouth. We think it's good word of mouth
Correct.
information.
Yeah, referred somebody to you.
Yeah.
So the way that I changed my social media, and you guys can take it the way that you want it, but this is how I decided to change my social media, my presence, what it was. So before I was heavily into producing lots of stuff. Like I was constantly online, constantly in stories, constantly doing these things. And I noticed my number of followers started dropping, the number of comments started dropping, the overall like engagement. And I was like, okay, so I kept watching my analytics on a couple different platforms, and I noticed it was dropping, and I realized I was the ick. So we all know what the ick is, right? We all have agents that we see online. We're like, oh God, can they post? Right? Can they post one more annoying thing? They're so into themselves,
Yeah.
right? We don't ever want to be that, right? When you think about it, that is the used car salesman of real estate. And they are so self-absorbed and so consumed that they are just posting just to post. They're not even thinking about what they're posting, right? This is where it changes. So I decided there was 4 categories that I was going to focus on. One of them was going to be education, and education about anything. What I had the best comments on was education about mammals, things that animals did. It was kind of great, but everyone would jump in. Oh my God, I didn't know a penguin did that. Or I didn't know. So that education was all over. I would pick different stuff, but I would throw in some stuff about real estate, right? Different statistics and things I would find. Second is going to be business. All business post, sold, whatever it was, right? Third was going to be, so education, business, personal, right? Was going to be number 3. And 4 was going to be whatever, life, funny, memes, something that grabbed people's attention. And then I decided I wasn't going to post every day. I'm only going to post on Mondays and Fridays. Why do you think I chose Mondays and Fridays?
The most viewers.
So no one wants to work on Monday. No one wants to work any days, actually. They're all online.
I thought I was the only one.
Who wants to work?
I don't know
Yeah.
Monday.
So Mondays are always high, and Fridays people have mentally already checked out. So they are online just more heavily. It doesn't matter what time, right? So, and what I decided to do is create higher quality content. So in that higher quality content, I wanted something that evoked motion, something that evoked just delight, something that was moving, right? Because again, every decision we make as a human is an emotional decision. Everything. When we pick up that cupcake, I hate my ex-husband. I'm gonna eat all 5 of these, right? Oh, I need a drink after work, hard, stressful. So when you think about it, right? If I'm going to put stuff out there, I want to evoke something because my objection is to get them to comment. Your objection is to get them to comment and share 100%. So the hardest thing is how many of you have met complete strangers online, never met them in person? I have several, right? People that I've just shared common interest with, right? Or you like their comments, right? They might be in the same vicinity, but you've never met them face to face, right? So as we are building that content, what I realized was the most important was putting myself out there. It wasn't just about my business. Who I was as an individual dictated who I was in my business, right? So I'm sarcastic, I'm kind of witty, I kind of have semi-inappropriate stuff I like to say every once in a while, right? But that's my personality, that's who I am. And I wasn't gonna make any concessions about it. That's who I am. And I'd rather attract people that are like-minded to me than I would stuffy, conceited, bougie, high-end. I don't want those people at all. So when I changed that, it went up like 500%. It took me a year to get back, but I ended up doubling my followers on all my platforms just because I became authentic in who I was. And it wasn't more, I'm going to post a consumer tip about real estate. Do they care? Right? If you are not getting the engagement and the comments that are saying, I love your content, it's so amazing. Why are we posting it?
So I guess we all need to get a puppy.
You need to get a puppy or a baby or something, right? Hobby, whatever, whatever that is. Monkey. Yes.
Answer the question that it's better for you to manage your social media to give it to somebody else to manage it.
No. And the reason why, only because you're her daughter and you know your mama, that's why I'm allowing that.
Extension of your brain.
Yeah, there you go. And you guys look exactly alike. So I'm assuming the problem is they lose your identity. So the problem is how many of you have been online and you see multiple posts, almost the same post as an agent. And you go,
Tons, and you just skip because it's like the same thing.
because you've seen 10 agents that use the same stupid poster that does the same thing. And again, I know for an agent, you might think, okay, but at least I'm posting. But again, if you are not getting an engagement, we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
And if they're not paying attention, because this is the thing, the heart is the lazy. I'm not paying attention, but I like it enough to heart it. For someone to actually comment, man, you are moving the needle emotionally. Think about it. When you comment, why do you comment?
Because you have an emotion and feeling something that wants to say.
Yes. Right? For me right now, it's politics. Anytime somebody posts something, I'm like, I can't control myself. Right? So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. But you know what? I have a real estate agent. He is called the Patriotic Realtor. And he is out in I think Clearwater or something like that. My gosh, that man has grown an audience for himself like I have never seen. And everyone was like, oh, this is suicide, dude. Suicide. He is actively collecting the people he wants to work with, and that's okay. We all can do what we want, right? I mean, I know it's hard to actually, because just like you said, I only want to market to people in a certain demographic.
It was
It's
actually
hard.
really hard to make that decision. But
Yeah.
It changed our whole income process.
100%. And sometimes you have to make hard decisions, whatever that is, whatever personally you want to do out there, right? So another thing I hate having to say it, but we need to be the same person online as we are in person, right?
So being authentic.
Thank you. The hardest thing I think in this industry is that we try to be something that we're absolutely not, but then you are attracting the buyers and sellers that you don't want to work with, if that's not your personality, right? So coming from Texas, I wear cowboy boots and a belt buckle. I worked in commercial real estate, very different to what I look like now, right? But that was my brand. And that's the people I wanted to work with, right? You'll see, and we all have been online, and we'll see an agent, and we're like, oh my God, that's not her, or that's not him, or right? The filters have
I've been having that conversation.
The filters have gotten so bad
I
on
have
some
to
of
change
these
my
people.
photograph real soon because mine is probably 10 years.
There, yes, and we see it. We see people's business card. They had hair. They had hair, and now they don't. Get a new one. Update it, right? I update mine every time. I change my hair color. I get new glasses, whatever it is, because I want people to recognize me. And if you are utilizing anything online for marketing that is 10 years old, get rid of it. Update it. You look handsome. You're adorable. Put it out there.
You're the Botox and haircut.
You're okay, right? So showing up online, be authentic. And this is one thing I love you little Xers, millennials, and this generation wants to see authentic people show up. It really does. It doesn't need you with makeup. There's a gentleman on TikTok, and I follow him. He's probably the most ingenious person I've ever heard speak. He's Mensa, super, super smart. And he talks about random stuff. He has no teeth. No teeth. He comes as just shoveled as any person I've ever seen online. 775,000 followers.
Good Lord.
And I said, if he can show up like this, I can show up without a damn filter. Okay? Right? And that's what gives me, no filters. Leave the filters alone. We're okay. And the one thing I have to admit, we are beautiful just the way that God created us. We don't need to do anything to make other people like us. You're not going to want those people anyways. It's okay. So now we're going to talk a little bit about shorts. So the way that I see shorts working tremendously is, who here has a listing right now? Okay. We're going to talk to all of you. In your listing, what is the one pinnacle point in that home that you think, ooh, buyers are going to love this. This is so awesome.
The view.
The view?
Location.
Location. Okay, what else? What is a focal point that I could create a video on?
No assessments.
That's a great one.
Where is that?
Yeah. Share that property with us, sir.
Miami.
Yeah. So the reason why is that focal point is your short. Okay, so I sold a ranch at one point, and they had this beautiful barn that once the doors were opened, it had 7,500 acres in the back.
Ooh.
And I paired it with some stupid song, right? Some viral song, and all I did was held my camera and walked out right as the doors opened. And I said, who wants to have coffee here every morning, right? It was some stupid thing.
Nice.
That got 150,000 views. Wow. Just that. And then what I did is I put the link of the entire video, right, of the whole thing, and that got more clicks.
Oh, okay.
So
you.
that 10-second is your hook. It's to get people interested, right? So maybe they have a beautiful bathtub, or they have granite countertop, or they have something that's so unique. That is your 10-seconder. And now we have to use ChatGPT or something really creative.
I just downloaded a ChatGPT thing yesterday that's going to take my videos and make 10 shorts out of it.
Yes.
But I didn't know how to use it, but you just said
This
I can
is-
make a link to the actual video
Absolutely.
from it.
And tell them, right?
Okay.
Right? Full video below. And now they're like, oh, I'm invested. What else does it have? Right? Because again, the more views, the more
I never
opportunity.
really knew how to use the shorts.
Yeah, shorts are amazing. They really are. Shorts are. I give you a YouTube link on how to learn how to create a short, and you can do it in TikTok. Has anybody ever used CapCut?
I've heard about it.
Ooh, this is a good one. Okay,
It's a good one.
CUT, CapCut. CapCut is a video editing tool
It's a little
that.
difficult too.
No, it's so easy. I teach you a class. I'll do it. Oh, you'll love
I
it.
had a hard time with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot
Cap-
how to use it.
CAPCUT, CapCut. So what it is, it allows you to literally upload your videos, and it pairs it with music, video effects, everything
way.
for you. Yes,
There's multiple apps.
multiple. Do it.
Yeah,
this
there's
one
multiple.
this one's my favorite
You like
because
that.
the viral music is the TikTok music. So you'll have kind of the same thing. Coolest thing, right, is that as you're looking at the templates, right, it will show you 775,000 people have used it. Okay, this is a viral template. We probably should utilize it, right?
Does it have a stream out so you can just, when you put it in the program, it just kicks it out to Facebook,
Yeah.
YouTube, and
Yep.
Instagram?
Everything.
They do all that.
They do it. Yeah, and it's free. It's no charge.
Oh, there's no charge.
There's no charge. CapCut is amazing.
Wow.
All right. So now when we think about it, right, our objection in social media is to get people to click on whatever we're wanting them to click, right? Or comment, right? That is the objection of it. So when we're posting, are we doing something called a call to action? You guys know what a call to action
Just
is?
call me
That's all it is.
or PM me.
Call me, private message me, send me a praying hands emoji if you like this video, right? You are telling the consumer to do something, and in that act of telling the consumer to do something, the algorithm pushes your video up.
Oh.
Yeah, all of this stuff has to go hand in hand with how everything works. So the hook is, right, when you think about it, when you get a solicited email, somebody you don't know, right, and you haven't unsubscribed to it, and it comes into your inbox, What makes you click on it?
Something visual.
But you don't see anything visual. All you see is the what?
The call to action.
Subject line.
Subject. Okay, so when I open.
So what is the subject line? Oh, okay. Who can? They can't see it?
They wanna see you.
Oh, they want to see me?
I'm hearing they don't see the slides, so I don't know. Put it in, make sure, I don't know, put it in front of you.
No, I mean, the slides are, I'm showing
I'm
everything.
not sure, but anyway, keep going.
Oh, that sucks. Sorry about that. So the subject line is what you click on. So, and for most people, the number one reason why we click on it is because it has some kind of numeral number in it. 50% off, buy one, get one free, lose 10 pounds in 10 days, right? Make $1 million tomorrow, right? We women love that one. I fall for it every time. How do I lose that 10 pounds? Come on, right? That is your hook, right? So you can utilize ChatGPT to create all these amazing hooks to get people. And if you're creating it through a CRM, right? Because it is the open rate, right? I would do that for text messages. So your open rate on a text message is 97%. Your open rate on a solicited email is 0.001%. What has happened with email is because if it's a solicitation, where does it go now? In your junk. Because all of the email providers now, right, have made fortresses and all that stuff just goes to your junk mail. So it's not even getting out. So if it is a list of people that you've already contacted, then of course it goes to their email. Yeah. So creating that hook, right? Do you want to know how much $1 million can buy you here in, right? No HOAs. What was the assessment thing?
No assessment.
Right? No assessment. That should be your hook, right?
In Florida, that's how.
Yeah. And of course, the other one is going to be ChatGPT. Utilizing ChatGPT is going to, have you utilized it yet?
Yeah,
Look at you, the $20, huh? Yeah, okay. I use it. Everybody receives a text message from me on a daily basis, like President Biden. Everyone does. And they all just think it's hilarious because I can create that text message in a person, in a tone, right? I could do all these crazy stuff. But it will help you with coming up with your biggest thing is, do we know what keyword optimization is? What is keyword optimization?
To get your ranking.
Right? It's SEO, search engine optimization. Okay. So why is keywords so important?
Because you want to come up on top of searches.
Okay. So how do we know what keywords are number one? How do we know what is best for our community here that people are searching?
But we actually had someone in India do art pages
Okay.
for us for very little money.
Yeah.
And then we just go back every year and just re-up all the SEO on our site.
Words. Well, the greatest thing is now with ChatGPT, you can do it for free. You don't have to pay anybody. Okay. So when I'm typing on Google, when I start to type, what starts to happen?
Things populate.
Okay. Why does it populate?
Because the keywords you use.
The number that is.
Close. So that is called predictive text. So why does predictive text is because any word after that, that's the keyword that people are looking for, right? And what it shows is that 10,000 people are searching for that. So when I say, how do I kill my ex-husband with cyanide? 10,000 people are looking to kill their ex-husband. I like them.
The word is the higher the number that people is looking for.
No, it's the same amount. It's the same amount. But as I start to type, so I can say, how to kill, and then it will self-populate, right?
Yeah.
I can ask, what is this county here?
Date.
Dade. So homes for sale in Dade. What do you think is going to show up?
Miami-Dade.
Under 300.
100%. Absolutely. People are still dreaming of $250,000 homes.
Yeah.
Here, they're dreaming of them. So, right? So another one, you'll find cheap. Miami-Dade homes, cheap, right? So now you start to make a list of all of those keywords and you utilize that in your posts, in your videos, the way that you say it, writing it as your hashtag, whatever it is, so that when people go to TikTok, YouTube, Google, and they start to type that stuff in, boop, all your stuff starts to self-populate. You got to do it multiple times. It's not just a one and done.
We actually stopped because we found it too hard to compete.
It's challenging.
Now we just use our company name, and that's the only keyword that we use.
And that's good. I
So
would,
we
yeah,
decided to dummy down location and just focus on name.
correct. So you know when you go onto Google and we type something in, what is the first three things that pop up underneath as we're typing?
The advertisement.
The advertisement. And what percentage of people click on the advertisement?
Most, because they click the first page.
They do not click on any of the advertisement. You know what they do? Statistically, they go to the third one down. They go to the non-paid. Psychologically, we all do it. It's sad that people are,
the sponsors.
yeah, the sponsor says 80 next to it. The word real estate. Do you guys know how much that is per click? How much people are paying to have that put in their SEO?
So I think Google click per ad is probably about $5 to get a click on it, right?
Over $1,500 for that word real estate. So if there is, I'm
To be on
typing
the top.
to be on the top. So if I type in real estate and I see the first two ads, they are paying $1,500 to utilize that word in their advertisement.
Yeah.
The saddest part is when I click on that ad, they are being charged $1,500. It doesn't mean they're getting the lead. Doesn't mean they're getting my information. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I
It's pay
purchased
per click.
I purchased Golden Beach and Hollandale Beach and Hollywood Beach probably about 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And we were spending thousands of dollars on,
I bet.
because most of it, before they had software that can now figure out which is the bot clicking
Uh-huh.
and which is the real clicking,
There you
and
go.
which is the secondary clicking of the same person using the same IP but a different email.
Mhm.
I mean, you have to really dumb it down to make sure you're getting unique clicks. We spent thousands and thousands.
And again, unless you were tracking that to find out that you captured that URL and that it went into a funnel that you could say, oh, we got 37 leads for the amount of money we
Otherwise,
spent.
it's just your competition making you spend money.
Yeah, that's all it
Yeah,
is.
you
You
really
think
don't.
you need to be at top. Yeah, it's a sad
That's
rat.
actually when we
rat
decided
race.
to just use our name.
Okay,
Because
yeah,
it
as
just
as
made
the
more-
word.
It just made more sense.
I love it.
For the videos, you don't have to pay.
What was that?
For the videos, you don't have to pay.
No, yeah, YouTube is fantastic.
Yeah, YouTube is amazing for that.
And
So
you
is-
can-
so is
and you can-
TikTok.
And you can get the information, the data, the people who.
Yeah.
Oh.
And actually, we found that worked better to just put Golden Beach or Hollywood Beach on the video
There you go.
address and hashtag it throughout the hashtag years ago, but we used it continuously throughout the wording on our YouTube videos.
Nice. So one of the things that you might not have changed with Facebook and Instagram is how fast and why we are supposed to comment on an actual post. So what they've decided to do is they said, okay, we've given you all free access to market your business on social media. And now we need you to do 50% of the work. So what they're saying is that when you post something and say you got 35 comments, but you never commented back on any of that, they're going to start suppressing your post. So meaning less and less people are going to be able to see it. So you have 24 hours to comment. So the minute you do a post, my suggestion to you, you don't have to comment on all of those, but the first couple, 10 that come out. So within the first minute, you'll get your first comment. Go to it and comment. It's got to be more than 4 words, no emojis. Thanks, Karen. I got that at TJ Maxx. Love you, girl. Whatever. Okay. Now, what you're going to find is you're going to have another one and another one and another one, and they're going to come pretty quickly, right? This is how the algorithm, because it's posting, it says, hey, you're working. Thank you for working, sir. I'm going to put your stuff at top so that 20% of the people are going to see it. And the more you comment, I'm going to keep pushing you up there so more people can see it. So when you start looking at your post and you realize, why did I only get 2 likes and 1 comment on that one?
And can you have an AI helper to do that?
No.
Yeah, I know.
Because
like someone to do
AI,
that.
unfortunately, there's no keystrokes. It's all artificial. So it's got to be an actual comment that you do. Because do you understand why only 20% of everybody on social media is the only percentage that sees your stuff? Do we have a clue? Because it's the 20% you engage with.
Right.
So if you want to change that, you should go through your friends every couple of weeks, go on their pages, open their Facebook page, comment on some of the things that they're doing, and do that a couple times a month, right? And all of a sudden, you're going to have a new feed that's going to start popping up. The only way that you get out of that 20% feed is if you start to have more viral videos or more viral content, right? When you have And that's for reels and that's for all of those things. When those things start to get hot and heavy and people start to pay attention, that's when the algorithm says, hey, you're pretty cool. I'm going to have more people see your stuff and I'm going to post it out more, right? So other people can see it, right? So when we are on social media, do you think the hearts on our pages, like liking our stuff, do you think that does anything for our content?
Does something for my heart.
I love you. It's
no, does it?
Tell me. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know.
What was the question?
Does
Yes, it does.
when I look at your post and I realize, oh, she had 700 people like that post. Does that do something for your post?
700 people like? It should be, yeah. No?
If they don't comment?
All it is for our ego.
Oh.
So what it does, it attracts more people to like it, right? Because you see it, and you go, ooh, there's 1,000 people that like that. I think that might be interesting, right? So, and because of that, they hope that that like is going to turn into a comment, which is then going to turn into a share. Comments are super huge. The best a round of applause you could ever get on anything you post is someone who shares it to their own social platform, because now you're having an opportunity to step inside someone else's platform that you have no access to. That is the ultimate, right? We can get more people to share, even in your brokerage. I commend you. If you have a bunch of agents that you were working with and you see their post, right? Share it for them. You don't know how it can affect how people see it, right? More eyes, especially on any listings, right? Or open houses, things of that nature. It really, really does help. The heart doesn't do anything. Doesn't matter. And if you're noticing on Instagram actually doesn't even show the numbers of likes anymore. The reason why is because they had high cases in Europe and in other countries, right? That children were committing suicide because they were.
The number of
It's sad, right? I personally would never give. I think social media to a child is disaster waiting to happen. Yeah, in the UK they completely cut it out because again, a young child's brain is not mature enough to know that this is fake and make believe. So they put something out there, and then all of a sudden they get people that don't like, oh, you smell or you're stupid or whatever, right? Bullying online. And then the number of likes, right? They would go to school. Oh, you only got 4 likes on your post. These young, undeveloped brains are committing suicide because of it. It's sad. So UK, most of Europe doesn't have it. Now in the US, Instagram is starting to limit it. So you've got to actually click through it to actually see the number of likes that are on post now. So got to tell you something. So last but not least, some of the things that I would love to see you guys post more of for the business side of the content, right? Because like I explained to you before, how do we get people offline into in person by doing what we're doing?
For us, it's a telephone call.
Telephone call, an invite to somewhere, a social gathering, right? Where you can invite somebody. So we are not taking people offline. If we're not having an opportunity to have coffee with them, if we're not having an opportunity to take them to a listing, right? What are we doing? Right? Yeah. Whatever that is, right? So the people that we start to meet online, our objection is to meet them in person so that we can possibly show them, show them that we are the right candidate for them for their listing or their sell, whatever the case may be, right? So some of the things that I think in business wise have a huge impact, right, is posting links for information for them to pull. Like, what do you think some of the top rated links are right now in this market for consumers?
To buy something.
To buy something, but what is that called? Marketing analysis, right? Value of their home, because everyone wants to know, if I sell, can I still live in Miami-Dade or do I have to move to Polk County, right? Another really good one, right, is a seller guide. What do you need, right? What are the steps that I need, right? And these are great is because once you create them, you can create them through AI. You can create all of these guides for you. And then throughout the course of the year, you can post them, right? But you have majority of the consumers enjoy some of that stuff. Buyer's guide, recent trends in real estate, recent market updates, home search features, right? Things where consumers can pull some information from instead of relying on Zillow to assume that Zillow is right about everything.
I use the National Association of Realtors page is fantastic.
I do too. They have great curated articles. I would use that honestly to pull articles for LinkedIn, pull it for different stuff on social platforms. I think that's great. So another one is when you finish your final close of the title room, right? Papers are signed, keys are handed over. What's the first phone call you get from a buyer or seller within the next 5 days?
Something's broken.
That's a good one. What was that?
Something's broken.
There you go. My AC doesn't work. My refrigerator broke. I can't figure out how to get the pool heater working, right? And they look for you for resources, right? Coolest thing to do is create a resource book in your county, in your area that you can send them, you can post, right? Of HVAC, pool guys, painters, handymen, right? People that you've done business with have done a great job. I know they would highly, 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 highly appreciate the fact that you're helping them with their own marketing. And in return, they probably will do the same, right? Another one is I witnessed this firsthand. So about 6 months ago, I went on TikTok and I found these great recipes on overnight oats. Have any of you guys heard of these? So you create this little jar and you put oats and fillings and all this stuff and you put it in the refrigerator and you have it for breakfast in the morning, right? You can put protein powder. It was great. So I got all these recipes and I filmed it and I went to Amazon and I bought these little glass bottles that had the little wooden top and the wooden spoon, right? And I was filming it. No one could care less about my oatmeal. All they wanted to know is where they could get those glass jars. Like affiliated links, right? Affiliated links. You can get all of that stuff through Amazon. So when I think about it, what do you use in your household that makes your life easier, that you think people would enjoy, right? Vacuums, door systems like door ring or whatever the case may be, books on DIY stuff, cookware, right? Pots and pans, whatever you're utilizing on a daily basis, you will get more comments because people are like, either hate it, I tried those, they suck, right? Or, oh my God, where did you get that at, right? But again, I'm trying to do this for engagement, for people to have conversations with you. One thing I would love to see agents post more of is the actual story of real estate. So what are the 2 posts most agents always post in the transaction? Closing and what else?
New
listings.
That's it. Is that really the story behind real estate? No. What is the story? Inspectors, right? Association, right? We have, and I think we're doing our consumers a not great service because some of them are delusioned when and we probably have met them.
We don't do anything.
Yeah, they think you don't do anything, right? I did a great video with my inspector for a new build because I was helping a client at the time who absolutely wanted a new build and she didn't think she needed an inspection because it was a new build. And I said, I'm going to teach you something today. I said, there's going to be more blue tape and more issues with this custom new build than that house that's 60 years old down the street. And she's like, there's no way, right? Because the salespeople had sold her and the builder had sold her. I'm going to give you all new appliances. I'm going to double pane the windows. Okay, we're going to get a third party. They had a gazebo kind of thing in the back built. And I was out there with the inspector. So they were supposed to have 2 nails on each side of the trusses on both sides on all 4. How many nails do you think were on them? 1 on each. Structurally unsound. They had to take the entire gazebo down and rebuild it. And that's just because of video. And they were like, I had no clue. And I'm like, because you know what happened? If you didn't get this and you purchased this house and 2 months later we had a hurricane, right? And that went down. You know whose fault it would be? You.
I had a developer leave out a kitchen island.
Wow. Just didn't even, hey. We have them on back order.
We just decided they weren't going to happen.
I love it. So post the stories, right? People are invested. Think about, does anybody here follow any type of like The Bachelorette or any of these like sitcom things online, right?
No.
I don't either, but hundreds of millions of people do because they follow the character plot.
I'm going to do a series of videos, I think, now after listening to you. Things that do and will go wrong.
Yes,
That's it.
that is what I want to see. No agent wants to post
On
these
my
things.
drive here just this morning, before I got out the car, a guy just came down from Ohio, and his sister had sold the garage before the inspection, because it was one of them iron
Oh,
prefabricated.
okay.
So he said, "Do you think it'd be a problem that the garage is not there?" So I said, "I just did it before I got in." I said, "Yeah, that might be a problem."
Yeah, they might be a little like shocked when they show up
So
and
now
have no
he's got to
garage.
figure out today, does he buy a new one or give a credit? And now I've got to ask the buyer,
How much
listen, the sister, without him knowing, because he wasn't in Florida,
took
sold the garage. Sold the garage this weekend, actually. They sold it this weekend.
that and a camera just talking normally
Yeah,
like
on
this?
Facebook.
This is what I'm
Facebook
talking about.
Marketplace.
Ticket, yes. So that was another thing. When I told you guys before, I did a lot of rentals, kind of how I built my business. I did everything through Marketplace. Marketplace is a huge place to put your listings, right? Yes, you get a hodgepodge of people, but I got a pretty decent amount of advertising on Marketplace for rentals and for houses for sale and open houses and things of that nature.
Free,
Because
right?
free. Yeah, free marketing, right? It's kind of like a bulletin.
Very inspiring. Thank you.
Good, good. So last but not least, there are two things I would love to see you guys post more, right? And it's the humor. There are some great humor in real estate that we shy away from. I had one in particular. It was like my third listing. Older gentleman owned a beautiful 3-story house in Conroe, Texas. And I was so excited to get the listing. It was on the high end, and that was $285,000, y'all.
I
$285,000.
remember them days.
I was, it was big
You
dog
buy a
there.
house for $199.
Yeah, I can't even buy a garage for $285,000 now. And we're doing, getting all the paperwork signed and everything. And I said, great, let me walk through really quick because I'm going to kind of take some visuals of what I want to do for the photographer. And he goes, well, I need to tell you, I have an amazing rec room on the 3rd floor. And I said, rec room? I said, I'm thinking exercise room. This is going to be awesome. What a great seller. That rec room had a stripper pole and had bolts things hanging from the ceiling. And I was like,
Recreation.
recreation room. I said, how am I going to sell this? And I said, I'm going to have to ask you to paint this room for me and probably take that stuff down, right? But this, right, there's
Great
so many
concept.
things that we find, right, that you do a walkthrough in any house, right? You're showing somebody and someone, right, it's a disarray, right? It's an easy little picture. Wow, you guys, can you imagine this is worth $770,000? Would you buy this, right? So use some humor. You might remember who she is. She posted a video 2 years ago, middle-aged real estate agent. She posted a story in her car with her cell phone that she was doing showing a client a house, and it was supposed to be the wife and the husband, but the wife couldn't make it. So the husband came. She had high heels on and a dress. And she said, for visual contents, I'm 5'4" and I kind of look like an Oompa Loompa. And I'm just thinking, oh gosh, right? And she's, laughing as she's trying to get through the story. So she walks, the gentleman was in front of her. She tripped and skirt went over her head, and it was like a long billowy thing. So she couldn't get the skirt out. She said, my underwear were the size of Mississippi. And all I thought was this poor husband was going to be absolutely blinded by my rear end. And the story was hilarious. She got on Oprah, on Good Day America. She sold so many houses. And right away I said, it's her personality. It had nothing to do with real estate. It had the fact that she was raw and real and honest. And she told the story.
What panties was she wearing?
Oh, they were big knickers. They were big. But I thought, to make fun of herself and to find that people would find that humorous. And they did an interview with her a couple months ago. And she now has a team of 17 real estate agents coming from one single real estate agent. That's all it took, right? So don't ever be discouraged to post the video. Don't, because you never know when these things are going to go viral, when people are going to enjoy that content. You just don't. We have no rhyme or reason why certain things are going to go crazy and other things are absolutely not. Last but not least, be vulnerable. Show the side of yourself that shows the human element. I think we are so concerned in this industry to be this buttoned up, perfect real estate agent that shows up in our suit and our tie and all of these things, but we don't share the side of, hey, my son actually applied for 6 colleges and he didn't get in. Man, this is tough. How many parents are facing this right now? I know he's going to get in, but right, that's life, right? Whatever that story is, don't shy away from telling the story, because the story is a beautiful thing, right? I hope you guys got one nugget of information that you can utilize for your social media. Yeah, she's gonna.
Thank you everyone for joining us in person and live.
Yes.
And anyone that watched
is going to get 2 CE credits. So please make sure you send me your name as it's on your license and your license number. Thank you again for joining, and we're here to help you with your success at Florida Closing and Escrow. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Tanya, for a great job.
I'm gonna pass around a sign-in sheet really quick so you guys get credit. So hold on a second.
Thank you so much.
You're so